We all have that bottle in our medicine cabinet, the one we take with a sense of virtue, believing we are doing something profoundly good for our brains. But what if one of these healthy habits, a simple vitamin, could harbor a hidden devastating risk? What if it could quietly contribute to the very disaster we are trying to prevent? As a physician who has studied the brain and its intricate blood supply for decades, some of the latest scientific findings have stopped me in my tracks. Most people only focus on lowering their cholesterol, never realizing this other, more subtle danger exists, and 99% will completely miss the final chapters where we reveal the precise biological reason this happens, and most importantly, the safe and intelligent path forward. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about life-saving clarity. Brain's ecosystem. Before we can even begin to discuss the risk of a stroke, we must first appreciate the profound and delicate miracle that is the human brain. We are conditioned to think of it as a biological computer, a static piece of hardware. This metaphor, however, is not only inaccurate, but also deeply disempowering. I want you to completely replace it. Instead, imagine your brain as a breathtakingly complex and vibrant living city, a bustling metropolis that never, ever sleeps. It has districts for language, neighborhoods for emotion, towering structures for logic, and vast, interconnected libraries that hold a lifetime of memories. And this city has an insatiable appetite. While the brain accounts for only about 2% of your body weight, it consumes an astonishing 20% of your body's oxygen and calories. It is the most metabolically active organ you possess. To feed this incredible energy demand, the brain city is nourished by an intricate, life-giving river system. This is its blood supply, a 400-mile-long network of arteries, capillaries, and veins. This vascular network is a cornerstone of one of your body's 5 great health defense systems. Angiogenesis, the system that controls where and when blood vessels grow. In a healthy brain, this system works in perfect harmony, ensuring that every single one of its 86 billion neurons receives a constant, uninterrupted flow of fuel and oxygen. This river system doesn't just deliver supplies, it also acts as a sanitation service, washing away the metabolic waste products that the city's activity generates. A specialized process, known as the glymphatic system, piggybacks on this vascular architecture to perform a brain wash while we are in deep sleep. Therefore, the health of these blood vessels is not just important for the brain, it is absolutely paramount. It is the bedrock upon which all cognitive function, all thought, all feeling, all life is built. A disruption to this delicate river is not a minor inconvenience. It is an existential threat to the city itself. When we talk about stroke risk, we are talking about the health and integrity of this vital life-sustaining ecosystem. Silent stroke. A stroke is one of the most feared medical events, and for good reason. It is a catastrophe within the brain city. In medical terms, a stroke is a brain attack, occurring when the vital blood flow to an area of the brain is suddenly cut off. This starves the brain cells of oxygen and nutrients, and within minutes, they begin to die. There are 2 primary ways this can happen. The most common type, an ischemic stroke, is like a massive dam suddenly blocking one of the brain's major rivers. It's usually caused by a blood clot that either forms in the brain's arteries or travels there from another part of the body, lodging in a vessel and cutting off the flow downstream. The other type, a hemorrhagic stroke, is like a catastrophic bursting of the riverbank. This happens when a weakened blood vessel in the brain ruptures, causing blood to leak into and damage the surrounding brain tissue. Both scenarios are medical emergencies that can result in devastating consequences, from permanent disability and paralysis to loss of speech and death. What is so insidious about stroke risk is that the underlying damage, the process that weakens the riverbanks or creates the debris that can cause a blockage, often develops silently over many years. It is a slow, creeping process of decay within the vascular ecosystem. This silent progression of damage is why prevention and awareness are so critical. It's not something that happens entirely out of the blue. It is the tragic culmination of a long-standing biological battle. The factors we typically associate with this damage are well known: high blood pressure, which pounds against the vessel walls, high cholesterol, which contributes to the formation of plaque, and smoking, which poisons the delicate lining of the vessels. These factors create an environment of chronic inflammation and dysfunction, setting the stage for the final acute event. But the new science is revealing that there are other, more subtle actors that can contribute to this silent and dangerous process, sometimes from sources we would least expect. The paradox. Herein lies the central paradox, a concept that is so critical to understand for our long-term health. We live in an era of wellness, where many of us actively seek to protect our bodies through nutrition and supplementation. We take vitamins with the best of intentions, believing we are providing our bodies with the essential building blocks for health and disease prevention. And in many cases, this is absolutely true. B vitamins, in particular, have been celebrated for their role in heart and brain health. Specifically, vitamins B6, B9, folate, and B12 are famous for their ability to help the body process an amino acid called homocysteine. For decades, elevated homocysteine has been identified as a significant risk factor for cardiovascular disease. High levels of it in the blood were thought to damage the delicate inner lining of our blood vessels, the endothelium, contributing to the formation of plaque and increasing the risk of both heart attacks and strokes. So, the medical logic was straightforward and elegant. Since B vitamins help lower homocysteine, supplementing with them should logically reduce the risk of these vascular events. It seemed like a clear-cut case of a nutritional intervention that could save millions of lives. This led to widespread recommendations for B vitamin supplementation, especially for older adults who might be at higher risk. The public, eager to take control of their health, embraced this strategy. The shelves of our pharmacies and health food stores became filled with high-dose B-complex vitamins, and millions of well-meaning people made them a part of their daily routine, confident they were fortifying their brain's river system against the dangers of a stroke. But what if this seemingly simple solution was not so simple after all? What if, under certain conditions, this act of protection could backfire in a shocking and catastrophic way? This is where the cutting edge of science requires us to look deeper, to challenge our assumptions, and to embrace a more nuanced understanding of our own biology. Hidden danger. This brings us to the shocking finding that gives the title to this discussion. A series of major scientific studies, including a prominent one known as the VitaTops trial, were designed to test the homocysteine hypothesis. They took thousands of patients who had already suffered a stroke or a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke, and gave them high-dose B vitamins, folic acid, B6, and B12, to see if it would prevent a second event. The medical world was expecting a resounding success. Instead, the results were stunning and, for some, deeply disturbing. Not only did the high-dose B vitamins fail to show a significant benefit in preventing another stroke, but some evidence began to emerge, particularly in subgroup analyses that hinted at something more worrisome. This was further illuminated by a landmark study from a major research hospital in Norway. Researchers followed patients with heart disease who were given different combinations of B vitamins. In the group that received a combination of high-dose folic acid, a synthetic form of vitamin B9, and vitamin B12, the results were not just neutral, they were alarming. That group showed a startling increase in their risk of dying from cancer and an unsettling trend towards higher overall mortality. The supposed panacea was showing a dark side. The shocking vitamin is not B vitamins as a category, but a specific approach to them. High-dose, often synthetic B vitamin supplementation taken without a clear medical need. Why would this happen? The biology is complex, but one of the leading theories revolves around our health defense systems being pushed out of balance. B vitamins are crucial for cell growth and DNA synthesis. This is a good thing when it comes to repairing healthy tissues. But what if there are already microscopic, precancerous lesions or unstable plaques lurking in the body? Giving them a high-dose flood of the very nutrients they need to grow and multiply could be like pouring fertilizer on a patch of weeds you didn't know you had. The vitamins in this context may not cause the initial problem, but they could accelerate its progression in a dramatic way. This is a profound example of how more is not always better and how context is everything in biology. A substance that is helpful in moderation can become a danger in excess. Unstable plaque. To truly understand how this vitamin strategy could increase stroke risk, we need to go deeper into the biology of the blood vessel wall. The old view of a stroke was a simple plumbing problem, a pipe getting clogged with hardened plaque, like rust in a pipe. The new science reveals a much more dynamic and inflammatory picture. The real danger often isn't the size of the plaque, but its stability. A dangerous plaque is often not a hard, calcified lump, but a soft, inflamed, volatile lesion with a thin, fragile cap, much like a tiny volcano on the verge of erupting. A stroke often happens when this cap ruptures. The body perceives this rupture as an injury and immediately forms a blood clot to heal it. It is this large, rapidly formed clot that then completely blocks the artery, leading to the stroke. So, the critical question is, how could high-dose B vitamins contribute to this plaque instability? This is where our angiogenesis defense system comes into play in a fascinating yet dangerous way. Unstable plaques are often riddled with a tangled, leaky network of tiny, new blood vessels. This is a process of bad angiogenesis. The plaque, in its attempt to grow, sends out signals to sprout its own blood supply. These new microvessels are fragile and prone to bleeding inside the plaque itself, which further increases inflammation inflammation, instability, and the risk of rupture. Some research suggests that high concentrations of certain B vitamins, particularly synthetic folic acid, might fuel this abnormal growth. By providing an overabundance of fuel for rapid cell division, they may inadvertently support the very process of pathological angiogenesis that makes a plaque so dangerous. They could be feeding the fire. Instead of creating a strong, stable scar over a damaged area of the blood vessel, the body, supercharged with these supplements, might be building a fragile, inflamed, and volatile structure. The very supplement intended to protect the vessel wall could be helping to construct the ticking time bomb within it. This is a stunning example of a health defense system going rogue, a biological paradox where a process meant for healing contributes to catastrophe. Smarter path. This information should not cause you to panic and discard every vitamin in your house. It should lead you to a position of profound respect for the complexity of your body and empower you to choose a smarter, more elegant path. The answer, in nearly all cases, is to seek your nutrients from the source they were designed to come from: whole foods. Food is not just a collection of isolated chemical compounds. A single piece of broccoli or a spinach leaf contains a symphony of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and fiber, all working in concert. The B vitamins in food come packaged with a host of other beneficial compounds that ensure they are absorbed and utilized by the body in a balanced and harmonious way. The wisdom of nature provides the nutrients in the right forms, the right amounts, and with the right cofactors. Where can you find the natural, safer forms of these crucial B vitamins? Vitamin B9, in its natural and superior form, folate, is abundant in dark leafy greens. Think of spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and romaine lettuce. It's also found in abundance in legumes like lentils and beans, and in asparagus and broccoli. You can literally see the health in their rich green color. For vitamin B6, you can turn to foods like chickpeas, which are incredibly versatile, as well as salmon, tuna, chicken breast, and fortified cereals. And for vitamin B12, the best sources are from animal products, as it is made by microbes. This includes shellfish like clams and mussels, fish like mackerel and sardines, red meat, and dairy products like yogurt and milk. By adopting a diet that is rich and diverse in these whole foods, you are providing your body with a steady, balanced, and safe supply of the B vitamins it needs to manage homocysteine and support countless other bodily functions. You are allowing your body to take what it needs in the form it recognizes without the overwhelming artificial flood that a high-dose synthetic supplement can create. This food-first approach is the safest, most effective, and most scientifically sound strategy for supporting your long-term brain and vascular health. It's about working with your biology, not attempting to overpower it. Right supplementation. Now, I want to be very clear. There are absolutely situations where vitamin supplementation is necessary and beneficial. Some people, due to specific medical conditions like pernicious anemia, genetic variations like MTHFR mutations that impair folate metabolism, dietary restrictions like a strict vegan diet lacking B12, or age-related absorption issues may genuinely require supplements to maintain healthy levels. The key, however, is to approach this not as a casual consumer, but as an informed medical decision made in partnership with a knowledgeable healthcare provider. This is the difference between a smart intervention and a blind risk. If you are considering supplementation, there are rules for doing it safely and intelligently. First, get tested. Do not guess what you need. A simple blood test can determine your current levels of homocysteine, B12, and folate, telling you if you even have a deficiency that needs correcting. Second, if you do need a supplement, choose the right form. For vitamin B9, look for L-methylfolate, or 5-MTHF, which is the biologically active form the body can use directly, bypassing any potential genetic blockages. This is far superior to synthetic folic acid for many people. For B12, look for methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, which are also active forms, rather than the more common and less effective cyanocobalamin. Third, think in terms of balance, not just a single high-dose vitamin. The B vitamins work together as a family. Taking a massive dose of one can create an imbalance in the others. A low-dose, high-quality B-complex vitamin that contains the active forms is often a much safer approach than megadosing with a single B vitamin. Finally, this should all be done under the guidance of a doctor or functional medicine practitioner who understands this nuance. They can recommend the appropriate dosage based on your individual lab work, genetics, and health status. Responsible supplementation is about precision, personalization, and respect for the powerful effects these substances have on our biology. Profound respect. The ultimate message of this science is not one of fear, but one of profound respect. respect for the breathtaking complexity of your own body, and respect for the powerful double-edged nature of the substances we put into it. The journey of these B vitamins from celebrated hero to a potential hidden danger is a powerful lesson in scientific humility. It teaches us that our understanding of the human body is constantly evolving, and that a simplistic, more is better approach to health is often not just ineffective, but potentially harmful. It reminds us that our body's defense systems are tuned to a delicate equilibrium, and our goal should be to support that balance, not to overwhelm it. This knowledge empowers you to ask better questions, to look at that bottle of vitamins not with blind faith, but with an informed and critical eye. It encourages you to turn first to the vibrant pharmacy of whole foods, to find your medicine in the crunch of a fresh vegetable and the richness of a wild-caught fish. It gives you the confidence to have a more sophisticated conversation with your doctor, to move beyond simple assumptions and toward a truly personalized strategy for protecting the precious, life-giving ecosystem within your brain. You are the steward of this magnificent internal city. You have the power to protect its infrastructure, to nourish its citizens, and to ensure its rivers of life flow freely for decades to come. This is the future of medicine, a shift from blunt instruments to precise, gentle interventions that honor the elegant wisdom that is already built into our very design. It is about understanding that true health is not an aggressive battle, but a harmonious dance with our own biology. This information really made me reconsider my daily supplement routine. It wasn't about fear, but about respect for complexity. Did this change how you view your healthy habits? And if so, how?